Oh, here I am again. This is, I think I left off with talking about the miracles that JOeY showed me and the realization that he knew, in a sense, on a very deep level, that he needed to help me even before he made the journey into spirit and home with his dad. And my very strange attempts to contact him and his ability to get through that strongly, even at the beginning, was unbelievable. I'm with Dad. Dad's here. This was re-verified later on, but I'll tell you about that soon enough. When my friend called me from California, her name is Suzanne. I had known her in the 90s. She was, and still is, a healer kind of person. Again, she has the ability to see through this illusion. She was born with it, and I guess when she was a little girl, the nuns used to call it the devil's work, but I think it's God's, I know it's God's work. Whatever you want, whatever concept of God you have. My concept is just pure love and laughter, okay? And I honor all other people's concepts, but mine is just unconditionally pure love and laughter. That is it. No judgment, no meanness, no anger, just love and laughter. So, if I want to be close to JOeY, I know now that I have to be in love and laughter. That's as close as it gets in this dimension. So my friend called me and told me that JOeY had come to her, and he actually walked through her house and told her, "You need to help my mom. She's really a mess." So I flew out to California and I went to her house, and I was just insane. And yet, I don't know how I did it, but you know, spirit is very powerful. It'll get you on a plane even. I got to her house and she told me that JOeY was with me, and that he kept whispering to her and telling her, you know, you need to take her to a shamanic ritual, you need to help her with this. So they did. She had a couple friends who did shamanic work, and I know that's a fancy new age word, shaman, but these were people who really were intent upon helping, and they saw my 1,000-yard stare, I guess, and I was like, this woman is really screwed up. So she and these other two young men, they laid me down and helped me center. They did a lot of energy work on me, and they helped me center myself, and they mentioned to me, you know, that I was all over the place. On a spiritual level, I was searching everywhere for my son in some sense. I don't know what level I was searching for him, but I was looking everywhere for him. I was trying to find him, like the parents lose their child in the store. I was going down every aisle of the universe. Hence the 3 giant canvases of painting stars, you know, I mean, where did that come from? So Suzanne, who's an incredible woman, she always used to tell me back in the 90s when I knew her then, we had gone to England together and had really powerful experiences, which I know now actually opened up a line of really dumped a lot of skepticism that had been in me that would have allowed for this. See, that's again, if I had not had those experiences with Suzanne in the 90s in England, I wouldn't have been so open to what happened in California. I was very open to the experience of touching eternity, and understanding that my son really was talking to my friend. So she had told me that she never allowed people that spoke to her, and she would have people come to her, sort of like mediums do, or you know, they have people come and talk to them, who are vibrating a lot higher than 3 dimensions and who have already left their bodies. She told me that she would never let them, they would ask if they could come into her and they could speak through her. And she had never let anybody do that. She was afraid of that. She said, I didn't believe in that. I didn't want people to come inside of me and speak through me. But because she was such a loving woman, and she still is, she did allow JOeY to come into her being and speak through her. And she went into a trance. And this is a very soft-spoken woman. This woman, and she had never met JOeY, ever. Not ever. She had never met my son in physical life, in this form. And she's a very soft-spoken woman who doesn't say bad words and doesn't, she's very gentle and very kind. And she went into this trance, and suddenly she started talking, and she said, Mom, why are you painting so many goddamn stars? What the hell is wrong with you? You don't need to paint the stars to find me. And all of a sudden, the essence of JOeY was coming out of her mouth. I mean, she was just out of this world with, and the fact that she allowed that, out of all the years, she didn't allow anyone else to do this, but she allowed my son to do it. To me, is quite an honor that she trusted me and trusted JOeY, was that much of an incredibly gentle and good spirit. So JOeY comes through her, and he is just JOeY. I mean, just letting me have it. Mom, jump on the merry-go-round, grab the gold ring, go live life, quit drawing stars, lighten up, it's all a game, don't take any of this seriously, what the heck's wrong with you, geez, Mom, come on, everything's gonna be fine, so I'm fine, I'm with Dad, blah, 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 blah. So all this comes out of my friend Susan's mouth, and then when she came back to herself, and JOeY had left her, her body, she just sat there at the edge of the table, and she said, Marianne, your son is the party of the universe. I mean, he's just unbelievable. And hence the tornado dreams I had about JOeY, hence the essence of JOeY being this guy who just took a bite out of everything, and now he's in this place where he's free. And he can sail, he can surf, he can do anything he wants. He's just, and it was so JOeY. He even used the F word a few times, which is JOeY. JOeY learned those from me. It's like, just because we make that journey into the light doesn't mean we're not still us. We're like expanded versions. And I heard that from a near-death experiencer. Ellen told me that. But we're expanded versions. And so JOeY's still JOeY. It's just that he's like a really happy JOeY. He's like the essence of, like, wow JOeY, And I had seen that JOeY occasionally when he wasn't, in this form. I'd seen it come out, like the humor, the pranksterish, the F word, the laughing, the joy. But we don't turn into like these all deep, meaningful things. We're still us. We're just us without the anger, without the sadness, without the regret, without the guilt, without all that egoic conditioning. That's all gone. You're just happy. And a joy that, as I've heard from many people, is beyond anything you can even imagine. So he was kind of reprimanding me even then to get it together, and I was so grateful to her for not only centering me, but also allowing him to come through her. And she told me, even when we went out to eat, we were there, and she told me to please, oh, your son's talking to me, hold on, she'd say. Hold on a second, your son's talking to me. Okay, he wants me to take you back to the house. He doesn't want us to go out to eat. You still need some more work, You need some energy work, And he's really concerned about you because you've gone insane. So JOeY was very concerned about me, and he wanted to fix it, kind of, and I really can't say any more except that was a hell of an experience, right? Um, it makes me realize its essence. It's like the essence and energy of a person is very, very strong, and JOeY would be one who would punch holes. Believe me, he would punch holes to get through. So he punched holes. Another example of JOeY punching holes, inhumorously too, would be, always with humor, would be when Bobby came to town and we decided to go out to eat at this Chinese restaurant, American Chinese kind of place, and we all got fortune cookies. And I remember fortune cookies, and you open them up and they always say stupid things like, you will soon see a great reward, or there's a person that will be coming into your life, something really, really vague. And Bobby opened his. And he looked at it, and he looked at me, and his eyes got really big. And his fortune cookie said, "Listen to your younger brother." I've never seen that on a fortune cookie, ever. So that was like, JOeY has a sense of humor, they all do. Everybody who makes it into the light, and we all make it into the light. We all go to laughter. Everybody has a sense of humor, a big one. So Bobby said, "Look at my fortune cookie, Mom." And I said, "Holy shit. Holy shit. Look at this. Listen to your younger brother." Another thing I did back then, in that, again, speaking in linear time, I did that. I got a hold of, I did a lot of research on mediums. I didn't really trust mediums. There's a lot of them out there that I didn't really care for, and I listened to my intuition, and my intuition kept saying George Anderson. Go to George Anderson. He doesn't promote himself. He's not on TV. He doesn't make himself important. He doesn't look like he has a huge ego. He acts like he's a regular guy. He's not out there with reality shows or anything. He's really quiet and meek. And I thought, that's the guy I'm going to go to. He seems like the one that would make sense to me. My intuition was speaking, and so I made an appointment, a telephone appointment with George Anderson. At that time, I didn't realize I could actually contact JOeY myself if I wanted to, but so I used a medium, and JOeY came through with George Anderson like gangbusters. And it wasn't that George Anderson, because I gave George Anderson the wrong. I didn't give him my name. I didn't give him my address. I didn't give him my phone number. I gave him a check with another person's signature. He didn't know who I was. So when we had the telephone line call, and I did this twice with him. The first time, over a period of 2 years, the first time JOeY came through with his name. He said, and first thing off the bat, George Anderson said, I see a young person. Is this your son? Because skepticism's healthy. I had skepticism, and I wanted to make it real. So, of course, he had no idea who I was. But he immediately said, "Is this your son?" I said, "Yes." He said, "This is your youngest son?" I see a very young son. And he described in detail JOeY's, how JOeY had crossed. He described in detail, it was very peaceful. He said that JOeY, it sounds like it was something that had to do with drugs. He spoke in detail about, and JOeY's name came through, and I'm seeing a J, I'm seeing the name JOeY. Is this JOeY? This is named JOeY. So it was in the details. You can be a vague medium and just, guess. And I wasn't allowed to say anything back to George Anderson except yes or no. Either yes or no. That's it. No, I wasn't giving him any information. So for him to come through with that many details and me only answering yes or no was really, really strong. And he did bring up that his father was with him. And George Anderson had no idea that my husband had made that journey. So the second time we did it, the same thing happened. And even my husband Scott came through waving and saying hello. So that was really strong. I needed the medium because I needed to hear, and I was crying. I remember I was in the basement hiding from my dogs because I didn't want to be bothered. And I was sitting on a pillow and listening to George Anderson telling me all these things that were coming through. And JOeY was very specific about how he had made his journey, how peaceful it was, how happy he was. And George Anderson, because he had been raised Catholic, did use a lot of symbology that had to do with the Blessed Mother and all this other stuff. But he kept saying that to me, and I actually identified with it because I knew what that symbol meant. It meant compassion, that was around me now. The Blessed Mother is a symbol of compassion, and also she's, Kuan Yin, Tara, many versions of her exist in many religions, the same concept, which is the symbol of compassion made into form. And so I was very delighted to hear him, and I wanted to get a hold of him every day, but I couldn't. And I will count in my next video. I guess we'll talk about one thing leads to another, right? And my search online was pretty much looking for people who had died and trying to find out, and who had come back into this form, and trying to find out what they'd experienced so I could understand my son and how he was, because I needed to know, and how he comes to his brothers and has come to his brothers and what he said to them. So that'll be my next video because the dogs are barking and they're annoying me. Alright, see you next.